Guys, there is something I need to talk about. I don't know if you have realized that, or maybe it's me. Majority of Kenyans are currently going through a lot. Life has become so difficult for majority of Kenyans. I don't know if you have been in that position whereby you have an issue that you're going through and you have tried getting or seeking assistance from your friends, from your colleagues, from your family members, and then you feel like they are not helping you. Maybe they are not willing to help, but most of the time when we go seeking for help from our family, from our friends, from our colleagues, and then they end up not helping us, most of the time we normally feel as if they just don't want to help us. Yeah, that's what normally goes through in our mind, because that's what we are, human being, and that's how we are wired. And guys, I don't know if you see, like, I'm talking in a kind of weird, kindly forgive me. I've just applied a given medicine in my mouth. I have a small condition, a manageable condition in my mouth, and I'm kind of feeling painful. So when I'm talking, so when you see like I'm talking kind of weird, we kindly understand. So that aside, majority of Kenyans are honestly suffering because the condition in Kenya is not admirable. Like, people that they don't have job, they don't have income, but they just have so many expenses. Majority of Kenyans, they don't have a place where they can run to, because back then, people could say like, ukishindwa na maisha ya Nairobi, just go to Shago. Ukishindwa na maisha ya town, just go to Shago. But apparently, as many Kenyans, we don't have that safe place that we can run to when things get hard. And that's what's happening to majority of Kenyans. And hey guys, I'm feeling so, I'm using my hand and I'm getting tired, but I will try to make this video to be short. So, guys, as I was telling you, if you have ever been that position whereby you have tried seeking for help from your family, from your friends, and then they end up not helping you due to one reason or the other, sometimes we tend not to, like, to just stop requesting for help. So if I ask for help from you today, and then you don't help me, and then tomorrow I request, I beg you to help me, and then still you don't help me, and then maybe the third time you don't help me, I will just end up not, like, the fourth time, like, you will not be an option that I will run to. And that's what's happening to majority of Kenyans. That's what is happening to majority of families. People are just suffering so much and they don't have anywhere they can run to. So people are just depressed, people are just sleeping hungry, people are just doing some weird stuffs to earn a living. People are just living a crazy life right now, for lack of better words, and that's the reality. Recently, I have come to understand the power of keeping on checking on your family's members, keeping on checking on your friends, keeping on checking on anybody related to you or anybody that you can help. It does not necessarily mean that you can help, like, if they need money, if they need food, and you obviously cannot help, that does not mean that you should, like, shy away from them, because majority of times when people have issues they are going through, they tend to feel lonely. And they tend to feel lonely not because they are alone, but because they don't have anyone else they can reach out to. Like, as for me, I'm used to just being alone, I'm used to just living my own life, I'm just used to just being me. But when I don't have an issue that I'm facing, when I don't have anything that I feel like people should come to my rescue, I don't normally feel lonely. But when I'm in that position whereby, maybe I'm sick, when I'm in that position where I feel like I need financial support, and then I don't have anyone in mind that I can contact, it normally feels, that's the point that you normally feels, wow, I think I'm alone. I think there is really no one who can help me. And when someone reaches at that point, it's a very depressing period. And That's what majority of us are going through. I'm sorry for keeping on changing my hands. I'm using my hands. I'm not using my stand because I just wanted to make a very short video, and then I just take a shower and go to sleep. So guys, majority of our friends are suffering. Majority of our family members are suffering. A majority of our circle are just suffering. And the funniest bit is that they're suffering in silence. And the reason why they're suffering in silence, sorry, is not because they can't tell us, but it's because they have requested for help from us maybe once, twice, and then we never turned up for them. Or rather, sometimes they just know that we can't help. If I decide to not share an issue with you today, when I have an issue, a disturbing issue, and I decide not to share with you, most of the time people do that because they are like 100% sure that even if they share with you, like you're just going to do nothing, and so they decide to just keep it to themselves. And that's what's happening to majority of us, to majority of Kenyans, and it's a very depressing situation. And I'm just doing this video to create like an awareness of the need to keep on checking on our friends. There is like a high need to keep on checking on our friends, not because that we are in a better position to help them, but just for them not to feel like they are alone in this journey. Because I have realized that the same problem that I might be suffering, like the very same problem that I might be suffering, and I'm still holding up well, so good, and I'm smiling outside there. The same problem is killing my friends. The same problem is killing women in my age. The same problem is depressing. It's depressing to someone else. But when we keep on hey, my hands. But when we keep on checking on our friends and uh, just trying to understand them, where they're coming from, the situation they're passing through, and not necessarily like providing a help to them, but just listening to them, and then also like opening up their eyes to understand the fact that they are not the only one. Like they are not the only one. I'm just from reading a given. I don't want to talk about that much, but I'm just from reading a given content. I don't want to talk about that because it's a true life story of someone, and I don't want to put them. I am not here to talk about them. And that person, it was a she. She was just talking about the issue she's going through, how she's so depressed, how she is depressed because she's married to someone who is abusive. And after I read all that, and I read some comments from women, uh, it struck my mind that people are like almost everyone is suffering in their own ways, because most of the comments in that whatever I read, most of the comments came from women who are telling the lady that you should just stick to your abusive marriage, irrespective of how it's going. Because where are you going with 3 kids? The lady says she has 3 kids. Where are you going with 3 kids with this economy? You have the entire of your life, ever since you are married, you have been a housewife. You are telling us that you need help, you need us to help you. Do you know what you are going through? Like, you are better off because on a daily basis you have food on your table. You are better off because your kids are schooling. Like, and it hit my mind that people are just suffering from their own angle. Because I really understood that lady, and I really understood the fact that she was really suffering, and she was really suffering because she was feeling like she's sacrificing her own life. She's sacrificing for her own life for the sake of living, for the sake of her kids living alive. She's sacrificing her happiness. She's sacrificing like entire of everything because she can't afford to raise the 3 kids alone, because she has been a housewife. ever since she got married. And I went through her pictures. Uh, I went through her pictures, and surprisingly, I just loved each and every picture of her. Like, she seems so happy. The family seems so okay. They seems to be this outgoing family. They seems to be this happy family that you can't just grasp anything from just looking at those pictures. You can't just know that behind this smile in this picture, there is a woman who is dying of depression. You can't understand that because the lady was saying that she's an orphan, so there is no one she can turn to. And she reached a point she came online to just empty her heart out, thinking that maybe she can get someone from online who can just maybe resonate with her and maybe offer her a help. And the only help she thinks is possible is for her to get out of abusive marriage together with her 3 kids and afford life outside here. And almost like 90% of the comments that I saw were telling her that you should seek because there is nowhere safe you're going. And that only means that even those people who are responding to her, they have something going on. They have something going on because, and that's why they feel like that lady is better off. Like, even if you are dying of depression because of whatever you are going through, abusive marriage, you are better off. You are better off because you can eat, because you have shelter, because you have a man, her husband. And someone still commented saying that, Ati, my husband died and I wish he was just alive and to be like your husband, just to be alive and be providing. Many of the comments I read came from wounded souls. Many people outside here are wounded by the fact that they can't afford life. They can't afford life. And this issue of not affording life is just making everything seem so difficult. Like, everything seems so like it's normal. When you see those ladies at Koinange in Kenya, for those who are in Kenya, when you see those ladies in Kenya, in Koinange Street, in I don't know whatever street that they normally go to sell their bodies. I don't know if that's the right term to use. I even don't like to use the term prostitution, though it's prostitution, but I don't like using that term because for me, I just view those ladies and I see a picture of their desperate kids who are only relying on them to do whatever they're going to do to bring a living on the table. And guys, let me just make this clear. Uh, Majority of the ladies who normally we see in the streets, that's what I came to realize. Majority of the ladies that we normally see in the streets doing the craziest things that we'll never want our sisters and our brothers to do, are doing prostitution and earning very pennies, like earning literally only food, earning almost nothing. Majority of them that do that, okay, I understand that there's some people they just don't want to work hard, but majority, like more than 99% of those people that you normally see in the street doing crazy stuff, attracting, like just trying to earn a living, sijui 50 bob, 200 bob, 1,000 bob, they are they have a lot of burdens. They have a lot of burdens that they are carrying, and they don't know how well to carry them. They don't know who to run to. They don't know who to speak to. For someone to just decide that from today henceforth, I'm just going to sleep during the day, and at night I'm just going to wear the shortest skirt, the shortest short, and then I'll just go there and wait for anybody so that I can sell my body. For me, when I visualize such a person, I see someone who have reached an end point. I see someone who have exhausted all the options in her head. I see someone who is willing to do anything, meaning that that's the only thing that they can do, but they are willing to do anything. They are willing to sacrifice even the little thing they have, their dignity, anything possible for the sake of affording life. And let me tell you guys, there is no one, absolutely no one, who can sacrifice all that if they had a better option. There is absolutely no one. I want to believe there is absolutely no one. And I'm talking this out of, I kind of feel out pain because after I went through the comment in the content that I read, I saw many women telling that woman that no, you want to come outside here so that you can start doing the same thing that other women are doing to your husband. That's the same thing you're going to do outside here so that you can earn a living to raise up those kids, and your husband is still able to raise those kids. But my dear, whenever you just decide to come out of that house, just know that you are still going to do the very, very same thing that those other evil women that you think they're evil. That's the only way that you will survive. And I also feel painful when I'm speaking this because I don't know if there is any other easy way for a woman to earn an income other than just going to the streets, and it's painful. It's painful. For women, most of them, they can't afford to go to the street and to do robbery. I understand some of them do, but majority of them can't afford just to do that, and so they just decide to do something even crazier. And guys, I don't want to divert from whatever I wanted to say, talk about the video. Um, there is a high need of just keeping on checking on our friends, on our family, on our colleagues, because sometimes they are silent cannot only mean that they are okay. But many a times in Kenya, especially in Kenya, silent means that I'm not okay. It's only that I don't want to disturb you. Silent means that I have tried asking for help from you once, but you did help me, and so I would rather just keep silent and die alone. Sometimes silent means that I have given up on trying to reach out to you, and sometimes silent means that I'm dying. Sometimes silent means like I'm just dying alone inside, and it's so painful that majority of Kenyans, that's the point where they are right now as we speak. And I know times are really bad. I know that. I also know that people cannot afford to just help themselves and help others, because I am one of those people. I can't afford to even help myself. So there is no way out I can afford to even help even a single other person. But keeping on checking on our friends, on our family member does not mean that now I want to carry you. Does not mean that now I want to carry your burdens. But it also serves as a point to understand, for them to understand that you're not alone. Like, you are not alone. Someone still going through the same thing and they're still pushing on. There is always a better tomorrow. Even just talking to that someone who's almost giving up and encouraging them, telling them that they, like, I can see a light at the end of the tunnel. uh, Sometimes I think I have really gone through some weird stuff in my life, and I have realized that always having a backup plan, and for me, my backup plan has always been God, is always a very strong thing. And also trying to understand your friends and also praying for them can really help. and also encouraging them to be prayerful, encouraging them to just see life in a positive manner, and telling them that God knows whatever they are going through, and God always has have a plan, and God can never leave them. I think sometimes that's the only thing that majority of people needs to hear, because yeah, it's true. I was once there, and when you are just so low, so extremely low, and you feel like there is no one you can call or maybe you can contact to help you, knowing that someone got your back is really a very strong thing. And for Christians, we are graced to have that backup plan and that assurance that someone got you. Like someone got you. Someone know whatever you're going through. Someone is there and willing to help you, and that's God. Sometimes just believing that I understand that. I'm sorry. I understand that sometimes believing that can be the last thing that you want to have in your life, because sometimes we just reach in our end point and we just see that there is no way out. And at that point, when someone tells you to just believe that God has your back, is the last thing that you want to hear. But the fact remains is that when you feel like you are in your end point, it's true. You are in your end point. Like Manze, you are in your end point. And unless God help you, then you are in your end point. And when you are in that point, can you just go back and accept the fact that, yes, I am in my end point. I am in my end point, and I'm gonna die in this endpoint unless I have a given backup plan. And just equip your mind with the fact that God is your backup plan. God is always your backup plan. And as long as you have God, like for me, I just love talking about that. And I know I will sound a bit crazy because I'm not used to making such kind of videos, but you, you like you don't know how much people has battled. Like you don't know how much I have battled in my mind for some time, and you don't know how much like God has proven the fact that I have always been there for you. I have always been there for you, even when you are not calling me, even when you are not just seeing me working. I was working day and night because I knew that you needed my help. And guys, uh, I feel like I'm kind of diverting from the topic I wanted to talk about today. Uh, Kindly keep on checking on your friends, keep on checking on your family members. Just know how they're doing. Even if you would provide them anything like financial, just talk to them and let them understand the fact that someone cares for them. Let them understand the fact that they are not the only one who is going through whatever they are going through. And let them understand that the most and the important thing, let them always understand the fact that there is always a backup plan in God. Like there, oof, I don't know how to emphasize this because I feel like my spirit and everything in me is saying this with me that there is always a backup plan in God, and does not matter if we are seeing it, does not matter if we can feel it, it does not matter if we can not comprehend of how it's going to happen, but there is always a backup plan in having God. And you don't have to die of depression because people have refused to help you. You don't have to die of depression because you have 3 kids and no one is coming to help you. You don't have to die of depression because you don't have job and you don't know how you're going to raise your kids. You don't have to die of depression because God is always there. God is always there. And I have understood the importance and the need to always surrender everything to God, because how you can't do nothing without him. Like you can't do nothing without him. Even for those people who feel like they have jobs is not everything. Within a blink of an eye, you can lose your job. Within a blink of an eye, you can lose your value to that organization and they can just shift to another person better than you. And job does not solve your situations. Job is not something that you can just hold on and say that, I am, my tomorrow is way clearer just because I have this job. No. The only time we have a clear vision about tomorrow is when we have a backup plan that we know it's unfailing backup plan. And this backup plan from God. And I'm saying this with everything in me because my hand, because I know that's the truth. That's the truth, guys. That's the truth. And guys, keep on checking on your families, keep on checking on whoever you feel like you care about them. And if you can't do nothing about them, kindly pray for them. If you can't do nothing more, kindly talk to them. Kindly let them feel loved. Kindly let them feel like they're not the only people who are going through whatever they're going through, because some people are just dying for some funny things. Some funny things that we went through and we emerged victorious. Okay, it was not a funny thing back then when we were going through it, but let people know that they can do it. Let them know that this is not their end point, because there is always a backup plan. And guys, I'm not going to make a lengthy video more than this because I had no plans of doing that. Plus, my mouth is painful. My mouth is painful. I don't know if you can see. I don't know. I don't think you can see it. So, guys, thank you for watching until the end. Please kindly continue subscribing, continue liking, continue commenting, and never forget the fact that there is always a backup plan in God. And that backup plan is an assured backup plan. And with that, when you just surrender everything to Him, that's when He starts working. That's when you start seeing Him. That's when you start knowing that you can't do it without Him. And I just pray that during these trying moments, especially in Kenya, if you're going through some weird stuff, some economic things, some financial struggles, may God just see you through, because honestly, majority of people in Kenya, even those people who seem as if they're just so stable, they can't carry their own burdens and carry anyone's burden. And that's the fact. And we should just come into terms with that and just know that if our brothers and sisters are doing so well, if some of our family members are doing so well, they are not entitled to help us, and they are not, like, we are not their burdens, and we even don't know what they're going through behind those closed doors. So it's always good to put our trust in God, our faith in God, because He's the only person who cannot let us down. So, guys, I don't know how I've made that long video with my hands, because I feel some pain. So, guys, thank you for watching until the end. Honestly, I do love you with the love of God. I honestly love you, and I appreciate you each and every time you just click on my YouTube channel to just watch. I honestly appreciate that, and may God bless you for that. So, bye bye, and as usual, I love you. Peace out.